Welcome to Mr. Boogeyman, where every story is a journey into the unknown. If you enjoy the thrill of the eerie and unexplained, consider father's heavy flashlight. He cursed the darkness. Every creak of the house under the weight of the storm felt like a taunt, a reminder that he was all alone, with the growing knowledge that something, or someone, was very much not. Jake steadied his breath, determination coursing through him. He wasn't going to be a victim, not tonight. With every step, he was unaware of just how close the intruder truly was, lurking just beyond the veil of the storm. Jake's heart pounded in his chest as he nervously gripped the baseball bat, its weight oddly comforting against his palms. He could hear the relentless rain pelting against the window frame, each drop a reminder of the storm that raged outside, and the darkness that enveloped him within. With hurried steps, he moved from the living room towards the hallway, his mind racing through a checklist of what he needed to do. He had to lock the doors and windows, strengthening his defenses against the unknown threat that lurked in the shadows. He paused at the front door, the heavy wood feeling deceptively light as he turned the lock with shaking hands. The faint sound of creaking floorboards trickled through the house, and for a moment he held his breath. Had the intruder heard him? He cautiously leaned closer, his ear straining for any hint of a sound, maybe a whisper. setups, and expertly maneuvering through the chaos. In a desperate attempt to reclaim his power, Jake retreated to the basement, the only place that felt like a bastion against the storm. Darkness hung thick in the air, and the stone walls, usually a source of comfort, loomed like sinister sentinels surrounding him. He listened intently, each creak and groan of the house echoing like a warning bell. But even here, in the seclusion of the basement, he felt the breath of danger at his neck. Just as panic began to take hold, he caught a glimpse of movement. The faintest shadow split the darkness, slipping just out of sight. In a moment of raw instinct, Jake recoiled against a damp wall, gripping his baseball bat tight. Each second stretched agonizingly, the rhythm of his heartbeat pulsing in his ears, drowning out everything else. Then, without warning, footsteps approached, deliberate and careless, as if the intruder relished the fear that permeated the air. Holding his breath, he prepared for confrontation, but just as swiftly as the moment came, silence engulfed him again, stretching out the tension. Then a soft sound, fabric brushing against something hard. Jake's instincts screamed at him. The trap was set, and the endgame was near. He knew he would either emerge victorious or succumb to the very darkness chasing him. Forcing himself to steady his trembling hands, he edged closer, intent on revealing the intruder hiding in the shadows. As he stepped down the final
You won't win this,
he voiced, pouring every ounce of his resolve into the declaration. The glee had drained from the intruder's face, replaced now with a dangerous blend of rage and frantic cunning as the water began to rise. A surge of adrenaline propelled Jake forward, leveraging the chaos around him. He beckoned to the storm both above and below. In a desperate gambit, he retreated to the far wall, where a gust of wind rattled the basement door he had hastily barricaded. With the intruder distracted, Jake grabbed a waterlogged length of electrical wire from the broken remnants of the shelving, ready to turn it against his foe. He knew he had to end this brutal game before it was too late. As fate would have it, the storm outside found its way inside. The basement flooded, creating frenzied torrents that swirled around them. In a split second, Jake struck, tripping the intruder into the electrified water that now rippled through the basement floor. A cry of shock pierced the darkness, and for a brief moment, the atmosphere was saturated with chaos, both men grappling against the current and each other. Finally, with a primal roar, a singular thought fueled Jake's survival instinct. He wouldn't allow this man to take him down into the abyss. With every ounce of his strength, Jake swung the bat with precision, the force breaking through the tension that had held them captive in that house of horrors. The intruder, weakened and panicked, crumpled to the ground, his sinister grin replaced by the stark reality of defeat. Jake stumbled out into the world above as the storm began to subside, the chains of dread loosening as he gasped for the taste of freedom. Battered and bruised, haunted yet alive, he emerged into the forgiving embrace of the rain, a survivor who had faced his nightmare and refused to be broken. As Jake made his way into the stormy night, the darkness behind him began to wane, flickering with the return of lights from the house. The battle was over, but the echoes of his harrowing night would linger, a chilling reminder of the power of both darkness and resilience.